Hail, hail, Commanders! Fam, buckle up because this is a bomb. Stefon Diggs, yeah, that Stefon Diggs is free and the Patriots just gave the Commanders the green light. Why is this the best news for Jaden Daniels, and why could his arrival be a strategic mistake for Adam Peters? And speaking of bold moves, Bleacher Report says Darren Payne is on the trade block to free up millions, but will this be Peters' biggest blunder or the master stroke for our D? And as if that wasn't enough, the green dot battle is heating up in Ashburn. Will rookie sensation Sonny Styles snatch leadership from Frankie Louvu? Stay tuned because I'm about to drop the real impact of each of these stories. Alright, listen up because this first one is a game changer, a potential seismic shift for our offense. The Commanders just got some seriously good news regarding Stefon Diggs, and it's coming straight from his former team, the New England Patriots. Now, we all know Diggs' journey has been a bit of a roller coaster, right? From Buffalo to a quick stop in Houston, then a bounce-back year with the Patriots where he helped Drake May develop and even made a Super Bowl run. But his time in New England is officially over. The Patriots released him primarily due to financial reasons, with a $6 million guarantee looming and a cap hit of $26.5 million. They even traded for A.J. Brown, signaling their new direction. Now, here's the juicy part for us, fam. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel was asked about a potential reunion with Diggs, and his answer was crystal clear. "I think we're probably at the number we would need right now," Vrabel told reporters. He added, "I appreciate Stefon as a person and as a player. I don't think that's something we're exploring, but I'd never say never." Bro, that's a huge green light for the Commanders. One less major suitor in the mix and a clear path for us to make a move. Diggs, a Maryland native who played in the DMV, has been linked to us for a while. When asked about joining the Commanders, he kept it open, saying, I don't know, man. I'm open to everything. We'll see." That's not a no, fam. That's a let's talk. After a down year in Houston, Diggs bounced back big with the Patriots, catching 85 passes for 1,013 yards and 4 touchdowns in 17 games, and even adding 14 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown in their playoff run to the Super Bowl. This dude can still play at a high level. Look, I could be wrong, but the fit here is undeniable. Imagine Jaden Daniels throwing to Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Stefon Diggs. That's a receiving core that would scare any defensive coordinator in the league. Diggs brings that veteran presence, that route running precision, and that clutch playmaking ability that we desperately need. He's a proven winner, a 4-time Pro Bowler. Yes, he's 32, and there are some unresolved legal issues mentioned, but if the price is right and he's motivated to come home and win, this could be a steal. Adam Peters has shown he's not afraid to make bold moves. This isn't just about adding a receiver, it's about adding a legitimate weapon who can elevate our entire offense and give Jaden Daniels another elite target. This is the kind of move that signals we're serious about competing now. Now, let's dive a little deeper into why this potential move for Diggs isn't just a splashy headline, but a calculated risk that could pay massive dividends for our beloved Commanders. First, let's talk about the unresolved legal issues. Look, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't pretend to be, but in the NFL, these things often get resolved, or at least managed behind the scenes. What matters to me as a fan is whether these issues will impact his availability or his performance on the field. Given his bounce-back year with the Patriots, it seems he's capable of compartmentalizing and focusing on football. And let's be real, if Adam Peters is even considering this, he's done his due diligence. He's not going to bring in someone who's going to be a locker room cancer or a constant distraction. Peters is building a culture, and that culture is about winning and professionalism. Then there's the age factor. 32 for a wide receiver is often seen as the beginning of the decline, but Diggs isn't just any receiver, he's a technician. His game isn't built purely on speed, though he still has plenty of burst. It's built on elite route running, incredible hands, and a deep understanding of defensive coverages. These are skills that age gracefully. Think about guys like Larry Fitzgerald or Anquan Bolden. They were productive well into their 30s because their game was about nuance, not just raw athleticism. Diggs has that same kind of football IQ. Last season, he put up over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's not a player in decline, that's a player who can still be a number 1 option on many teams, and a phenomenal number 2 or 3 for us, complementing McLaurin and Dotson perfectly. And let's talk about the fit with Jaden Daniels. Daniels thrives on receivers who can create separation and win contested catches. Diggs does both. His ability to run precise routes would give Daniels a reliable target, especially on crucial third downs. Imagine Diggs working the middle of the field, drawing attention, while McLaurin stretches the defense deep and Dotson works the sidelines. That kind of spacing and versatility would be a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. It would open up running lanes for our backs and give Daniels more time in the pocket. This isn't just about adding a name, it's about adding a piece that elevates the entire offensive ecosystem. Now the cost. The Patriots released him, so we wouldn't have to trade for him. It would be a free agent signing. This is where Peters' genius comes into play. What kind of contract would Diggs command? Given his age and the unresolved legal issues, it's unlikely he'd get a massive long-term deal. A 1 or 2 year prove-it deal with incentives could be perfect. It minimizes our risk, gives Diggs a chance to reestablish his value, and gives us an elite weapon for a Super Bowl window that is rapidly opening. It's a win-win scenario, provided the off-field stuff is truly manageable. My personal take? Adam Peters needs to make this happen. We have the cap space. We have the need for another proven playmaker. We have a young quarterback who would benefit immensely from having a veteran like Diggs to learn from and throw to. This isn't just about adding talent, it's about adding a winning mentality. Diggs has been to the Super Bowl. He knows what it takes. He brings that edge, that fire, that competitive spirit that can be infectious. Imagine him in the locker room, pushing McLaurin and Dotson to be even better. That's invaluable. The only real downside I see is if the legal issues become a major distraction, or if his play truly falls off a cliff. But based on last season, that seems unlikely. This is a calculated risk, but one that, in my opinion, has a much higher upside than downside. The NFC East is wide open, the Eagles are making moves, the Cowboys are always a threat, and the Giants are, well, they're the Giants. But if we want to truly compete for the division title and make a deep playoff run, we need to keep adding talent, especially proven talent. Stefon Diggs could be that missing piece. Peters, make the call, bro. Bring him home. Okay, bro, from a potential offensive explosion to a defensive shakeup, Bleacher Report's Mo Moton is out here suggesting a blockbuster trade for the Commanders, and it involves parting ways with defensive tackle Darren Payne. Now, listen, I love Darren Payne. He earned that 4-year, $90 million extension back in 2023 after a monster season with 11.5 sacks, 25 pressures, and 64 tackles. That's elite production, fam. But Moton argues that Payne hasn't come close to matching that level since. And with us building a totally new defensive line, an overhaul is possible. Keep it a buck, the argument has some weight. We've invested heavily in our defensive front, and if Payne's production isn't consistently matching his contract, then Adam Peters, who is a value maximizer, might look to move him. The idea is that Payne still has trade value, but that could change, so moving him now might be the smart play. It's a tough pill to swallow because when Payne is on, he's a disruptive force. He commands double teams, he collapses pockets, and he's a run-stuffing machine. But if the new defensive scheme under Durante Jones doesn't perfectly align with his strengths, or if we can get significant draft capital for him, it's a conversation worth having. This is where the tactical depth comes in. If we trade Payne, who steps up? We've got young talent, but replacing that kind of veteran presence and power in the middle of the defensive line is no small feat. It would signal a full commitment to a youth movement and a specific defensive philosophy. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, but one that, if it brings in picks that Peters can turn into more foundational pieces, then I'm willing to listen. Still, my gut tells me Payne is a key part of our identity, and I'd rather see him thrive in this new system. But hey, in the NFL, anything can happen, especially with Adam Peters at the helm. Let's unpack this Darren Payne situation a bit more, because it's not as simple as trade him or keep him. There are layers here, fam. First, let's acknowledge the reality. Payne's production has dipped since his monster 2022 season. That's undeniable. His sack numbers haven't been the same, and while pressures are still there, the consistent game-wrecking presence hasn't been as frequent. This is the core of Moton's argument. When you're paying a defensive tackle $90 million, you expect consistent elite production. However, we also need to consider context. The entire defensive line, and frankly, the entire defense has been in flux. Coaching changes, scheme changes, and a lack of consistent talent around him can absolutely impact a player's individual statistics. It's hard to be a dominant force when the rest of the unit isn't consistently performing at a high level. A new defensive coordinator in Durante Jones with a fresh scheme could unlock Payne's potential again. Jones is known for an attacking, aggressive defense, which could play right into Payne's strengths as an interior pass rusher. Then there's the financial aspect. Payne's contract is significant. If we trade him, we'd free up a considerable amount of cap space, which Adam Peters could then use to address other areas of need, or even to sign a player like Stefon Diggs if that opportunity arises. This is the value maximizer part of Peters' DNA. He's not sentimental, he's strategic. If he sees an opportunity to get significant draft capital for Payne and then use that cap space to improve the team in multiple areas, he'll consider it. But here's my counter argument and why I'm hesitant to jump on the trade Payne bandwagon just yet. First, continuity. While we're overhauling a lot, having some veteran presence and established talent on the defensive line is crucial. Payne, when healthy and motivated, is still one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league. He draws double teams, which frees up our edge rushers. He's a powerful run defender. Losing that kind of player creates a massive void that's not easily filled, even with draft picks. Second, the potential for a bounce back. With a new coaching staff, a new defensive scheme, and a renewed sense of purpose under Dan Quinn, Payne could absolutely return to his 2022 form. Sometimes, a change of scenery isn't about leaving, but about the scenery around you changing. If the new scheme puts him in better positions to succeed, and if the talent around him improves, his numbers could easily jump back up. And let's not forget, he's still only 29 years old. He's not ancient by any means. Third, who replaces him? We drafted Johnny Newton last year, and he's got immense potential, but he's still developing. We have other young defensive linemen, but none have proven to be the consistent game wrecker that Payne can be. Trading him would create another massive hole that we'd have to fill, likely through the draft or free agency, which comes with its own risks. My honest opinion, I'd give Payne one more year under this new coaching staff. Let Durante Jones work his magic. Let him see if he can unlock that 2022 version of Payne. If, by the trade deadline, Payne isn't performing up to his contract and we get a compelling offer of a high draft pick, then maybe you consider it. But right now, with a young quarterback and a defense that needs to be stout, I think keeping a proven talent like Payne and giving him every opportunity to succeed in this new system is the smarter play. You don't just jettison talent, especially not talent that has shown it can be elite, without giving them a fair shot in a new environment. Peters is smart, and I trust him to make the right call, but I'm leaning towards keeping Payne and seeing what he can do in 2026. And finally, fam, let's talk about the heart of our defense, the guy who's going to be the quarterback of the D, the green dot wearer. With Bobby Wagner's departure, that crucial role is up for grabs, and defensive coordinator Durante Jones is letting the competition play out. The green dot, for those who don't know, is how the coaches communicate plays directly to one player on the field, who then relays it to the rest of the defense. It's about communication, leadership, and understanding the entire defensive scheme. Jones emphasized that the decision will be based on communication, the ability to echo calls, and personnel groupings. What's really exciting is that rookie Sonny Styles, our 7th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, has been wearing the green dot in practices. This kid wore the green dot for Ohio State in 2025, so he's got experience. That's huge, bro. It shows the coaching staff's confidence in him, and it speaks volumes about his football IQ and leadership potential right out of the gate. Frankie Louvu, who's now the veteran leader in the linebacker room, is also in the mix. He's been praised by Dan Quinn for stepping up his communication and play calling, taking on the role that Wagner previously held. Louvu himself has been doing a lot of self-scouting, focusing on playing within the scheme and not searching for it. He's embracing a new role, potentially with fewer snaps, but more impact, especially with Leo Chenal and Styles now in the picture. This competition is exactly what we want to see. It's going to push everyone to be better. Whether it's the young phenom Styles, the re-energized veteran Louvu, or even Chenal, having a clear, confident voice with that green dot is absolutely critical for our defense to succeed. This isn't just about who makes the tackles, it's about who orchestrates the entire unit. I'm hyped to see who earns it because that player will be the heartbeat of our defense. Let's break down this green dot battle even further, because this isn't just about who's the loudest or who knows the playbook best. This is about the strategic brain of our defense, the player who has to process complex information in real time and then translate it into action for 10 other guys. It's a massive responsibility, and the fact that it's an open competition tells me a lot about Dan Quinn and Durante Jones's philosophy. They want the best man for the job, regardless of seniority or draft status. First, let's talk about Sonny Styles. The fact that a rookie, the 7th overall pick no less, is already getting reps with the green dot is absolutely insane in the best possible way. It speaks volumes about his football IQ, his maturity, and his ability to quickly grasp complex defensive schemes. Jones specifically mentioned that college players are coming into the NFL with more experience wearing the green dot knee, and Styles is a prime example. He did it at Ohio State, a major program, so he's not new to the pressure. His athleticism is off the charts, but his mental processing seems to be just as elite. If he can handle the communication duties, his physical tools combined with that mental acuity could make him a truly special player, a defensive cornerstone for years to come. Imagine a rookie linebacker not just making plays, but calling plays and directing traffic. That's a rare talent, fam. Then there's Frankie Louvu. This man is a warrior. He's been an every down starter, an all-pro caliber player, and now he's stepping into a leadership role. Quinn specifically highlighted Louvu's improved communication and play calling, taking on the duties previously handled by Bobby Wagner. Louvu's self-scouting and commitment to playing within the scheme, rather than searching for it, shows a level of maturity and dedication that you love to see in a veteran. He's embracing the uncomfortable and is open to learning new things, which is crucial in a new defensive system. Louvu brings the fire, the intensity, and the experience. He's the emotional leader of that linebacker room, and having him as the green dot would ensure that passion is communicated to every player on the field. And let's not forget Leo Chenal. While not explicitly mentioned as wearing the green dot in practices, he's a significant addition to that linebacker room. His physical style of play and his understanding of run fits could make him a strong candidate as well, especially if the scheme leans heavily on stopping the run. The competition among these three, and potentially others, is going to be fierce, and that's a good thing for the Commanders. The implications of this decision are huge. The green dot wearer is essentially the coach on the field. They have to understand the opponent's tendencies, make pre-snap adjustments, and ensure everyone is aligned correctly. A miscommunication can lead to a big play for the offense. A strong, confident voice can rally the defense and prevent mistakes. My personal take on this? While Styles' potential is through the roof, and it's incredibly exciting to see him get those reps, I think Louvu might be the safer, more immediate choice for the green dot, at least to start the season. His veteran presence, his proven leadership, and his understanding of the NFL game give him a slight edge in that high-pressure role. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Styles eventually takes over, perhaps even by mid-season if he continues to impress. The fact that he's even in the conversation as a rookie is a testament to his talent. Ultimately, this competition is a microcosm of what Dan Quinn and Adam Peters are building, a culture of competition, accountability, and excellence. They're not just handing out roles, they're making players earn them, and that, fam, is how you build a winning team. The green dot battle is going to be one of the most fascinating storylines to follow throughout training camp and the preseason. Whoever wins it will be the voice of our defense, and that's a responsibility that carries immense weight. I'm hyped to see who steps up and takes command. That's all I got for today, fam. Man, what a roller coaster of emotions. The potential of Stefon Diggs coming home, the thought of trading Darren Payne, and this intense battle for the green dot. It's all part of the journey, the grind, the hype of being a Commanders fan. This team is building something special, and every single one of these stories, every rumor, every practice rep, it all matters. We're on the cusp of something great. I can feel it in my bones. If this video got you hyped, if it got you thinking, if it got you ready to raise hail, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. Do you want Stefon Diggs in burgundy and gold? And who do you think should wear the green dot for our defense? I want to hear your takes, fam. Until next time, HTTR.